On the evening of May 24th, dozens of gunshots echoed across the north lawn of the White House, sending journalists and staff sprinting for cover inside the press briefing room. The source of the chaos was an armed man. After pacing erratically near the gates, he pulled a weapon and fired directly into a heavily guarded perimeter checkpoint. This incident capped off a deeply alarming month. In just 4 weeks, it marked the third major security threat in the immediate vicinity of the president. The timeline of violence began on April 25th, when an armed suspect sprinted through security at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in a direct attempt on the president's life. The world's most fortified residence is facing a rate of direct threats that pushes current security measures to their absolute limits. The confrontation on the 24th began shortly after 6 p.m., right at the intersection of 17th Street and Pennsylvania Avenue Northwest. As the suspect approached the checkpoint, he drew a revolver and opened fire. An innocent bystander was struck in the crossfire and left seriously wounded on the street. The Secret Service Uniform Division responded instantly. Officers returned fire in a concentrated barrage, neutralizing the shooter immediately. Throughout the entirety of the gunfight, President Trump remained secure inside the Oval Office, working through diplomatic negotiations for a Middle East peace deal. Neutralizing the shooter at the checkpoint prevented a physical breach, but the intelligence perimeter allowed a flagged individual to reach the gate armed. The shooter was identified as 21-year-old Nasir Best. He was not a stranger to federal law enforcement. He was a known threat, repeatedly flagged by the Secret Service for loitering around these exact entry points. This timeline tracks his escalation. June 2025, arrested blocking traffic. July, detained at a turnstile, claiming to be Jesus Christ, triggering a psychiatric evaluation. Online, he claimed to be Osama bin Laden and threatened the president. Despite a court stay-away order, he returned heavily armed. The failure of each preventative measure moved the conflict from a data file to a lethal engagement on a DC street. In the immediate aftermath, the toll was grim. Best died from his injuries on the way to the hospital, while the innocent bystander was rushed into emergency surgery. Federal agencies have since locked down the investigation. The FBI is stepping in to determine if there were any deeper political motives driving the attack. Taking to Truth Social shortly after the attack, Donald Trump acknowledged the suspect's violent history and his apparent obsession with the White House. But the president also used the moment to propose a radical solution. Citing the string of recent attacks, he called for abandoning the current patchwork of perimeter defenses to build an entirely new, purpose-built, and ultra-secure presidential space in Washington, D.C. Securing the presidency effectively requires moving beyond reactive street-level defense and overhauling the way the government neutralizes known threats before they ever reach the gates.